In this lesson, I'm going to teach you to do something that you may or may not want to teach your students, but it's cool enough that I did want to show it to you. Okay, so I have a new project that's called tracing, and let's call this trace sounds. Okay, so the reason you may not want to share this with your students is because it requires you to leave your EV3 plugged into your computer while you run a program using this download and run button that I already told you wasn't such a good idea to use. So let's write a quick program. I've got a project called tracing and I called this trace sounds. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, let's start with a sound and let's go into Lego sound files into communications. Let's start by having the robot say go.
Go!
Okay, very enthusiastically. And then we're going to stick in a loop. So I need to go to flow control and let's grab a loop. And let's not do unlimited. Let's just loop by a count and we will loop 3 times. And what I want to do in my loop is just play a couple of notes. So let's grab a sound block, put that in there, and I'm going to play a note. And let's play A5 for 1 second. And then let's stick another note in there and we will play, let's play this one, B5 for 1 second. Okay, so we have the loop that happens 3 times, and then at the very end we're going to have one more sound, and let's have it say
Okay.
okay. So there's our whole program. In a minute, I'm going to press the download and run button, and when I do so, I want you to keep an eye on these green areas at the top of the blocks. As each block runs, you should see the top change a little. You'll see kind of an animation with some diagonal wavy lines. Well, diagonal lines moving across the top. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to click this download and run button. My EV3 is currently connected up to my robot. Sorry, my EV3 is currently connected up to my computer, so let's hit play. Were you able to see that? I'm not sure how clearly it's going to appear on the video, but if you try it yourself, you'll notice that whatever block the EV3 is actively running will have a sort of a diagonal line pattern moving on that top bar. For example, this slide shows you an exaggerated view of what the system looks like when the B5 note is currently being played. Okay, let's change this program slightly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add, there we go, a display block right before the sound, and let's have, well, let's stick it right here. Oh, come here. I want my display block after the word go, but before my loop starts, and let's put in some eyes, and let's try doing the bottom left eyes. And then I'm going to put another set of eyes right here, and I'll do, oops, eyes, and let's go in and do bottom right. Now, I really shouldn't do this, right? Because I've got my first image and then immediately clearing it out and putting my second image. So we're not actually going to see those bottom left eyes if we ran the program. But if we download and run, you'll see it zoom past these blocks so quickly. It might help you realize what's going on if you didn't understand why your picture wasn't showing up. So let me just push the download and run button and you can watch. I don't know if you saw how the pictures both flashed by really quickly. For some people, seeing that might be enough to help them to recognize what the error was that they did. I really like this feature of the software as long as your robot isn't moving. but I'm torn about whether to teach it because I really don't like the idea of getting students used to using the download and run button. There's just too much potential for the robot to drag a laptop off a desk. It is possible to connect to your EV3 via Bluetooth instead of using your USB cable. If you were to do that, the risk of your robot dragging a laptop is eliminated. But this course is aimed at teachers who want to use this with their students. And my colleagues who regularly use the EV3 with groups of students strongly recommend against using Bluetooth. There are just too many complications to using it, particularly once you're working in a room with multiple robots, and too many ways it can go wrong. Since Bluetooth connections aren't appropriate for our target audience, we're not going to cover that in this course. But if you want to give it a try, feel free to go for it.